1, go. Alright guys, welcome back to Rune Factory 4. Let's get back into it. I'm gonna beat the boss. That's totally not a horse, don't worry about it.
No, definitely not a horse. Don't even think of insinuating that he is a horse.
How silly of me. How could I even insinuate that? That would be harmful to me.
I mean, he's logically a human being.
Yeah, exactly. He just happens to like carrots, don't worry about it. Don't worry about that mouse cursor. That wasn't there. I don't know why I have this moment of hesitation, but I do.
I mean, don't we all?
I guess. Yeah, that was just me fixing some audio because I thought it was a bit too loud. Because, like, especially, like, when they hit you with, like, a multi-hit attack, it's very, like, you know, it's, like, very crunch.
Crunch.
Oh, by the way, you're about to see something that we couldn't feasibly kill in the next room. Because it's Friday. And I'm pretty sure if I was right, then, yeah, then this is when my friend Death Fungus is here. I just nope out because I see how little damage that does, and I say, I value my life, so.
I mean, don't you want to eat your mushrooms?
Well, yeah, but I don't want to be killed by that mushroom, so. But yeah, I went back to sleep in the bed because it's very helpful to have the fireball spell for the next boss fight, because he has very long range attacks and you really don't want to get hit by them, because it's a similar issue to Ambrosia, where they have multi-hits, but the thing that's really annoying about this is that it is really bad because I believe it can paralyze you as well, which is honestly, in this fight, it's honestly even worse than getting put to sleep, because if you get hit when you're asleep, you just wake up, right? But if you get paralyzed, you can't do anything about that, you're just, you know, paralyzed. And I don't have any real way to deal with it other than one piece of medicine that takes time to use, so I'm not really in the business of getting bodied, so. Yeah, I'm just cleaning up some little things here first.
Yep.
Just getting a little bit extra stats, don't worry about it.
I'm gonna phone worry about it.
Yeah, that onigiri will come in handy, so. I accidentally cut it, I'm sad.
Box.
Throwing is an actual stat in this, or skill rather. It does actually cost RP, but honestly, since I've got enough food, it's not really gonna matter that much.
I mean, let's be real though. How many people want to put on their gravestone death by box?
I don't think anyone. Well, we all end up in a box, but.
I mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody got hit with a box and died.
If it hasn't happened in the course of human history, I would genuinely be surprised. If it hasn't already happened, it probably has multiple times, but.
I mean, there are probably really weird ways that people have died.
There's a whole show about it, to be honest.
Dumb ways to die.
1,000 ways to die, but close enough.
Oh, there's a song though.
No, but it's an actual like show, like you know that you probably don't know this, but it's like a channel called like Spike, I think. Like it's an old show, like it stopped running like ages ago, but like basically it was one of those like over dramatized shows where it's like it shows the like what the person dying or whatever. Like they're usually portrayed as like an asshole, and it was like sort of like they got what was coming to them, and then like they die, and it does like sort of like the Mortal Kombat thing, where it shows them dying, right? And like it does like a X-ray and whatever. Yeah, it's a stupid show, to be honest. Like I don't even know why I enjoyed it as a kid. Egg. Hey, look!
That when you threw that egg, it somehow survived the fall.
That's a very strong egg.
I don't know many eggs that can do that.
Oh, look, it's egg. Hey, look, this isn't important.
Yeah, let's just ignore
Just leave
that.
it on the floor. Doesn't have magical plot dust on it or anything. Don't worry about it.
Not like we're even gonna bother with the plot.
Well, to be fair, there's gonna be...
Graham's reading it.
Well, I leave the text boxes, at least like the actual important text boxes, on the screen for long enough so that if people who are watching this actually want to know what's going on, like want to hear all the like the little details, they can. But this game is pretty streamlined. You should be able to get basically what's going on, except for like a few cutscenes where you actually do need to read the dialogue to an extent. Also, we just got points for walking, so that's cool. Can I just say that I love how there's a fucking level up for almost everything in this game? Oh, it makes me so happy.
Because why not? That voice was definitely not a horse.
Totally not a horse. I almost got blown into the boss room and I would have been upset. Yeah, like I said, aiming with a dual shock is difficult because like you can't really like get the actual directions because the way I've mapped it, like I've mapped it to like a keyboard, right? To make it work properly with the emulator. So like the analog gives you the illusion of having actual control, but you don't really. Which is, you know, it kind of sucks, but do what you can. I'm just looking for something to get that little bit of RP up. This also indirectly helps me in the next fight because that gives me an int boost, so my spells do a little bit more. It doesn't really matter that much, but it's like, you know, a couple extra points means less things I have to actually shoot. It's not a horse, don't worry about it.
No, it's not a horse.
Yeah, that's probably the safest attack, because it's the most telegraphed. That one sucks, because it's just like that one that Ambrosia has. And then that one, it's telegraphed, but the one that's after this, like in the next phase of the fight, it sucks. It's so bad. Because he has this one that's a multi-hit, and it hits like a truck. Not that one, it's a different one, but that one. That one is almost instant death at our level. Also, that shockwave's like nothing. It's a lie. And so is the wind magic attack. It's honestly nothing. And then that's just a window to just do whatever you want in. I don't even understand how that one whiffed me, but I'm not going to complain.
Just don't question luck.
Ow. Because, like, see, that does a lot of damage. Like, because we've got, like, what? I think it's, like, our health pool's somewhere around, like, I think it's, like, it's probably, like, around 200, 240-ish. So that, even like that roundhouse, oh, we beat the boss, guys. No, we didn't actually beat the boss.
Nope.
You played yourself.
Just kidding.
What a jape. Yeah, that attack sucks on hard, by the way. It's actually just terrible. Because I think he does it again, but it's like even faster. And this is where fireballs help immensely, because it means you never have to approach.
I mean, they'd help if you could actually aim.
Well, I'm getting... Fortunately, this boss likes to go in like specific, like very straightforward directions, so it helps. Now we actually win. So, hooray! Not a horse.
Not a horse. Definitely not a horse. I mean, there's proof right there. It's a guy.
Exactly, it's a dude. It's a dude, bro.
See, even Jones calls him a man.
Exactly.
It's not a horse.
But yeah, because we're basically Earth Jesus, we can turn these possessed monsters back into people. So that's cool. And so now we just have to wait again. Also, I see an item and I get teased. Because I keep walking by because I assume it's not there. And then I learn how much it's not worth it.
Also, I think Doug says something, like, after you beat Dillis.
To be honest, I almost never go talk to Doug because I don't like Doug.
But it's kind of funny because, like, within the days, like, that you go, like, and, like, well, within the days that the Dillis first, like, starts walking around, it's like, they just automatically don't get along.
I think it's very funny. So,
Battle of the Soons.
by the way, this mission's supposed to give you exactly no money, but so just so happens Luck loves me, and it's 10% off. Oh yeah, making fat money off Margaret. And by that I mean like I made like 20 gold, which is like 5 seconds of work, not even. And now we get a hammer, which is nice. So
Yeah, I spotted the best character.
the hammer.
Yeah, sure, let's go with that.
I would use that axe because it's actually a much better thing than my longsword. But because weapon crafting comes so soon, I decided it wasn't worth it. Like, if you do the quests in the correct order, like, stuff comes at just the perfect time, because it's right after this point that you get access to start making, like, all your workbenches and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So this is honestly, like, the best time for, like, getting the hammer and that sort of thing. Oh, so something fun... A fun fact you might actually not know, Blue. So, you know how you can pick up furniture and throw it at things?
Yep.
Well, turns out, each one has a different damage value that's set. Because,
I mean, I'm not really surprised by that.
well, yeah, because, like, think about it. Realistically, if you threw a calendar at something, it wouldn't hurt that much, right?
Paper cut?
Yeah, but, like, if you threw a refrigerator at someone, that would hurt.
I mean, how many people can actually throw a refrigerator at somebody?
I'm willing to bet there's some people who could.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there was somebody. But I mean, it's not something that people can normally do.
Normally. I got a rock. But yeah, you can technically buy the tools out of order, and you would think that would save time, but realistically, if you're trying to get like actual materials done, it doesn't. Because like, especially like if you don't know like how to make money in this game, like right off the bat, like if it's your first time, you're better off buying like food or like seeds rather than actually buying your tools, because the game will give them you all for free anyways. So honestly, I personally don't see the reason to buy them super early. It depends on your setting too, because like sometimes like if you're going for speedrun, technically you can, but realistically, like the time expenditure done is not really worth like the amount you save. Like it's like a few seconds at most, but like it's not worth it. When you hammer so hard, you hurt yourself. Yeah, see, this is what you should spend your money on if you can, by the way. Also, now we start getting access to licenses. For right now, we're only going to use the one that we have at the start, the simple one. But later on, I'm probably going to get the sashimi set, because sashimi is actually really good. because there's two things you can do with fish. You can make sashimi, or you can salt it. And salting is really good if you want HP-based food, but if you want RP-based food, then fish are actually a pretty good option. Although, of course, you could just buy onigiri too, and that also works just as well. So, this kind of depends on like what strategy you're going for. Because if you're already like fishing to like get your RP up, then you may as well just go with the sashimi set anyways, because then you're self-sustainable. By the way, Blue, you're gonna be mad at me because this room turns into a mess later on.
Oh dear.
Like, I'll probably get another room, because, like, I usually have, like, a crafting room, I have a kitchen room and all that, right? But,
A kitchen room.
yeah, why not?
I mean, like, doesn't that sound kind of redundant to you?
No.
Like, a kitchen.
No, because you can have, like, a kitchenette.
A kitchen. Wait, what?
Yeah, you can have,
Kitchenette.
you know, like, you know how, like, in some hotels you have, like, like, it's, you have, like,
room. I know
yeah,
what
you have, like,
mean,
one star, it's, like, not really a room, it's just, like, a thing in a
Mm-hmm.
room. So, as opposed to having a thing on the wall, where it's just, like, with everything else, you have a room that's dedicated to kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this is why I said I kind of regret eating that bamboo, because it would have been helpful for when I was doing this later.
Poison mushroom.
Poison is really the least worrisome thing in this game, unless you get hit by like a really absurd level poison. So that's just so the level goes up a little bit more. Because there's two ways you can do cooking or like crafting or anything in this game. If you know what goes into a item, you can just straight up make it. However, the RP expenditure is way higher if you don't actually have the recipe. So the safe way to get recipes is what you need to do is you need to raise your level of whatever the skill you're trying to craft in is. And then what you need to do is you need to go get a recipe bread from Porklean, which he starts selling immediately after you get your first cooking set. However, the only issue with that is you obviously have to raise the skill, so it just kind of comes down to how many resources you can expend, and also if you're willing to wait, since the recipes you get from Recipe Bread are random. Although you can manipulate it a little bit, because say for example, if you don't have a very high, like I don't know, like a very high sashimi level, he won't give you many sashimi things if you're not going for that. And similarly, if you don't have a very high pot level, he wouldn't give you a very high pot dish. That sounds really high pot level. That sounds unusual. Unintentional marijuana joke, kids. Fun. Am I cool yet? I'm trying to stay in with the hip urban crowd.
Yeah, staying hip with the kids. You're
Yeah.
still a kid.
How does it go, fellow kids?
I mean, you're still a kid, kinda.
More or less. Society would call me a kid.
Well, let's say you're borderline. You're technically an adult.
I'm technically an adult.
Technically. Still can't drink, though.
Why would I drink, though? Drinking's boring.
I mean, if you like mixed drinks,
Blech.
I like margaritas.
I'm just not a fan. It doesn't really agree with me. Also, we technically should listen to Arthur talk about the harvest report. However, it happens to be one of the most worthless mechanics in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I never bothered with it, really.
Because I'm gonna tell you, there's never a time where I actually based my harvests around the harvest report, because it almost never actually has an impact. Also, he has nothing good right now, because we barely shipped anything. You might think toast is a good item. It's not.
Well, toast is actually one of those things that could potentially be like an early game moneymaker.
It is an early game moneymaker, but the issue comes along with it. You have to, well, you can infinitely make money every day. It comes down to like how bored you're willing to be. Because there's gonna be a point later on where I show part of it, and I eventually cut to like when I finish. But I do a thing to get my forging level up really high, really early, by exploiting the way that the game gives you experience. And holy shit, is it the most boring thing. We're gonna have a long conversation during that, because it's...
I mean, I can talk about how things got a little bit better.
Yeah, because
because they didn't have like really good money makers for a while until like Flax came in. Like, 'cause
yeah.
Flax is just broken, like in the later games.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Like,
not only like are you growing like a bunch of flax, like I think it's one of those crops that you can get in any season, and the fact that you can make clothes out of it.
wait, you're
like,
talking
or at
about
least
Story of
cloth.
Seasons, or...
Yeah, yeah, it's basically it's the same series.
No, it's not. It's not Rune Factory, though.
Rune Factory, a fantasy harvest moon.
Well, yeah, but it's not the same thing. You don't fight people in Story of
It's made by the
Seasons.
same people.
Oh,
Okay.
whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna call it right here. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.